welcome to Palawan. This is a special tutorial for people coming to this project. I want to say a few words. Number one, this is going to be a really tough project. The hike in and hike out to Marma, to Kamantian, to Amrang is very, very difficult. We've been told that it's worse than the Crucible. This is not a place, if you want to take it easy, this is not the place to be. This is a place where you may end up having to work very, very hard. You may end up working many times when you would rather be sleeping. And this is definitely not a place, if you're addicted to the internet or feel like you need the internet a lot, don't come to this project. Go to some other project because that's not a good place to be. But for those who really want to come to a place that is a challenge, here's a few words we're going to give you, some phrases, so that when you arrive here, you'll be able to already communicate the most important phrases to the people. This will really help you get off to a good start. 15 very short phrases, but if you know them, it's going to make a world of difference. So Jillian is going to, my daughter, is going to say these phrases because she's a native Talawano. Don't learn it from a person who is not a native Talawano. Don't learn it from me. Don't learn it from a student missionary. You'll learn it straight from a Talawano, so you're saying it as correctly as possible. So with this, I'm going to give Jillian the phrase, and then she can say it maybe twice. We'll explain how to use it, and then she can say it again. So the word, when you're hiking on the trail, you meet somebody, one of the ways you greet them, you say, "Where are you going?"
Ang batanaan mo.
Okay, one more time.
Ang batanaan mo.
Okay, so you're asking where they're going there. And do you have any other things to say about that, Jillian?
Mo is only for one person.
Okay.
If you have more than one person, you say mu.
Okay. So the nice thing about these phrases is that as you learn additional words, you can insert other words into these phrases and add to your ability to communicate. Okay, the next one is a very simple one. Good morning.
Manungang mariklam.
Okay, once more.
Manungang mariklam.
Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll add two more to this. We'll say good afternoon.
Manungang tangal daw. Manungang tangal daw.
Okay, that's sort of like good noon or good around there. And then later on, what would you say?
Manungang gabi.
Okay.
Manungang gabi.
Okay. And that would be good night. So, and then if somebody says manungang mariklam to you, what would you say back to them?
Manunga gasi.
Okay. So what are the three endings that you gave there?
Manunga gasi.
Okay. So say all those. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and when you reply,
Manungang mariklam. Manungang tangal daw. Manungang gabi. Your answer is manunga gasi.
so whenever they say that to you, you would say manungang gasi back to them. The next one, where are you from?
Ang bamawa mo.
Okay.
Ang bamawa mo.
So how would you use this phrase?
When you meet people
Okay. So you're asking where they're hiking from,
or where they really came
or
from.
where they live, things like that. Okay. One more time.
Ang bamawa mo.
Okay. Very good. So you'd ask that if they're to see where they're coming from or where they might live. Okay. The next thing is to broaden your vocabulary. You'd ask, what is this? What is that? What is what word phrases would you use to say what is this or what is that?
What is this? Is ano ito? Ano ito? What is that? Is ano atin? Ano atin? What is over there? Ano duntin? Ano duntin?
So one is what is this? What is that? And then what is that way over there? So say the three of them again.
Ano ito ah? Ano atin? Ano duntin?
Okay. So, anyway, the next one is, what is your name? Or what are you called, actually?
Sino ngaran mo?
Okay.
Sino ngaran mo?
Okay, and each of those words, how would you translate each of those three words?
Sino is who? Ngaran is name. Mo is you.
Okay, so that's what you'd ask to get their name. And if you're saying what your name is, what do you say?
Ako si.
Okay.
Ako si. Or some people would say, ngaran ko si. But that's too long.
Yeah. The next one is, if you're saying to somebody that's really good, and like they did something, you say, that's good, you're really good at that, or something like that.
Mapanday ka. Mapanday ka.
Okay, that means, oh, wow, you're doing good. That's a good job. I really like that. So, once more.
Mapanday ka.
Okay. Next one would be, where is your house?
Amba banwa mo. Amba banwa mo.
Okay, so amba means what?
Amba means where.
Banwa?
Banwa means house.
And mo.
Mo is you.
Okay. So this phrase you can use whatever you want. Like you might say, well, if you used it for, you're wondering where Kamantian is, how would you use it?
Amba kamantian.
So if you're hiking the trails and you're lost, if you know Namba, you can ask, if you're heading toward Consuli, you would then say what?
Amba kansuli.
Now, you may not understand what they said, but if they sort of point, then you know where you're going. So that's a very important word, is amba. So remember that. Another phrase, if you're passing on the trail or you're getting, sort of have to squeeze by somewhere, what do you say?
Mata mo. Mata mo.
Okay, that shows you if you have good manners if you say that. You don't just go squeezing by without saying something. And what does mata mo mean?
Mata means eyes. Mo is you.
So it's sort of like watch your eyes, watch yourself, something like that. How do you say, I'm leaving now?
You're leaving. Muli ko na. Muli ko na.
Okay, so
You always say that when you leave somebody's house. You can't just leave.
okay, and if that's you just leaving, say it again.
Muli ko na.
But if you're a group, what would you say?
Muli kay na.
Okay, so if you're leaving as a group, you would say.
Muli kay na.
And I'm going to add one more that's not on the list. It's like, let's go.
Let's go. Dun siu na.
Dunes?
Dun siu na.
Okay, that's when you're ready to leave and you want to get everybody together, you say.
Dun siu na.
Okay. Now those are about 15 or so phrases. Those are used a lot. So if you can learn those phrases when you get here, you are going to really, you're not going to be lost. You can start off and you feel like, hey, I can say important things. And then as you learn new words, go ahead and use these phrases and insert different words in there and use them differently. So rather than learning 500 words, which is intimidating and most people will never do that, we're just saying here's 15 phrases that if you can learn them, it's going to get you off to a really good start in Kamantian, in Malas. One other thing I have to say is that the villages you go to sometimes say things a little bit differently. So if you run into that, just realize that sometimes they might use a different phrase in another village. But they'll probably understand what you're saying nonetheless. But don't be surprised if when you say good morning, they might say something else because they're from another village. But that will get you going, and we're looking forward to having you. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy, but it's a super challenge, and it will definitely be worth it. So that's your lesson for today. Learn those things, and you'll do a great job.